I've spent over 40 years as a doctor walking alongside people just like you, wise, kind, full of stories, and often doing their best to stay healthy. And yet, I can't tell you how many times I've had someone sit across from me, confused and heartbroken, asking, Dr. Brian, I eat so clean. Why am I still so tired, foggy, or aching? And then we look at their plate. What if I told you that something as simple as what you eat with your morning eggs, yes, just that, might be quietly sabotaging your energy, your heart, and even your memory? It sounds hard to believe, right? After all, eggs are healthy. But here's the thing. It's not the egg, it's the company it keeps. Every year, thousands of seniors unknowingly create food combinations that cancel out nutrients, spike blood sugar, or block digestion. And they never know why their health seems to decline, even when they're doing everything right. But today, we're going to fix that. In this video, I'm going to gently walk you through 3 food combinations you should never eat with eggs and 3 simple, delicious pairings that can actually boost your digestion, protect your heart, and sharpen your mind. This isn't about giving up eggs, it's about learning how to love them in a way your body will thank you for. So make yourself comfortable, pour a glass of water, and stay with me until the end, because just one small change to your breakfast could unlock years of energy, vitality, and independence. Let's get started right at the breakfast table. 1. Egg plus white bread, the sweetest way to inflammation. Let me take you back to a very common scene I've witnessed in my clinic. A sweet older couple, married for over 50 years, came in for their annual checkup. The husband, let's call him Walter, complained of feeling sluggish every morning, a little foggy in the head, sometimes even shaky before lunch. His wife, Margaret, was concerned. But he eats well, she told me. Every day I make him scrambled eggs and toast, just like we've done for decades. And that right there was the clue. Eggs on their own, my friend, are one of nature's most complete foods, rich in high-quality protein, loaded with choline for brain health, and packed with essential vitamins like B12 and D. But what many folks don't realize is that what you pair with those eggs can completely change how your body handles them. And white bread, as innocent as it may seem, is one of the worst companions. Why? Because white bread is made from highly refined flour, stripped of its fiber and nutrients. The moment it hits your system, it digests like sugar. Fast. Too fast. That spike in blood sugar causes your pancreas to rush out insulin, and just as quickly your levels crash. That's why Walter felt tired mid-morning, couldn't concentrate, sometimes even felt irritable. It wasn't the eggs. It was the white bread dragging his system into a roller coaster of highs and lows. And there's something even more serious to understand. These sugar spikes, when repeated daily, quietly fuel inflammation throughout the body. Inflammation is like a slow-burning fire. It damages the lining of your blood vessels, stiffens your joints, and even dulls your memory over time. It's not always loud or painful at first, but its effects compound year after year. Studies now link this cycle of blood sugar swings to type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and yes, even cognitive decline in older adults. So what can we do instead? The good news is you don't have to give up your eggs, not at all. But try pairing them with something that supports your body instead of stressing it. Whole grain or sprouted bread is a great place to start. These breads digest more slowly, helping to keep your blood sugar stable and your energy steady. Or take it up a notch. Roasted sweet potatoes, sautéed spinach, or a few slices of avocado. These are foods that love your body back. I told Walter and Margaret to swap the white toast for half a baked sweet potato and add a few wilted greens next to the eggs. Just 2 weeks later, Margaret called me, her voice full of hope. "He's not crashing anymore," she said, "and I swear, he's even cracking more jokes in the morning." We both laughed, but deep down I knew we'd done something more than fix breakfast. We gently turned the tide of aging in their favor. Sometimes the tiniest changes in our plate bring the biggest changes to our life, and that's just the first pairing. Because next, we're going to talk about something even more surprising. A food combination that sounds healthy, but quietly blocks your body from using the very nutrients you're trying to get. Ready? Let's talk about eggs and soy. 2. Egg plus soy. The muscle wasting mistake. There's a patient I'll never forget. Her name was Diane. A retired school teacher with a gentle voice and a big heart. She came to see me one fall morning, worried because her arms felt weaker and her balance wasn't what it used to be. But I eat plenty of protein, she insisted. Eggs every day. And I've even switched to tofu and soy milk because that's supposed to be healthier, right? That moment, I knew we needed to have a deeper conversation. You see, Diane wasn't doing anything wrong in the way most people think of it. Eggs and soy, individually, are both protein-rich and considered healthy. But when combined, especially for older adults, they can become a quiet threat to one of the most precious things we fight to protect as we age: muscle mass. Let me explain why. Soy contains something called trypsin inhibitors. These are compounds that interfere with your body's ability to fully break down and absorb protein. And for someone like Diane, or you, where maintaining muscle becomes harder with every passing year, this interference is no small thing. It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket. You may be eating enough protein, but your body can't hold on to it. Now add eggs to the mix. Egg whites, while wonderfully lean and packed with protein, also contain a compound called avidin. Avidin binds to biotin, one of the B vitamins that helps turn food into energy and supports healthy hair, skin, and nerves. When you pair avidin with soy, which already complicates digestion, you've got a double hit. Less protein used and less support for the systems that keep you feeling energetic, resilient, and steady on your feet. I asked Diane one simple question. Have you noticed any new fatigue or hair thinning? She paused, then slowly nodded. Come to think of it, yes. And my nails have been more brittle lately, too. That's when it clicked for her. What's heartbreaking is that these symptoms creep in so quietly. A little more weakness here, a little less stamina there, and before we know it, the foundation begins to shake. But the beauty is, we can turn things around. We swapped Diane's morning soy milk for almond milk or oat milk. We traded her tofu sides for sautéed mushrooms, leafy greens, and slices of roasted zucchini. Still plant-based, still delicious, but no longer fighting against her health. And the results? 2 months later, Diane was beaming. I don't get that heavy, tired feeling after breakfast anymore, she told me. And I feel stronger when I carry my groceries. Even my walking group noticed. The lesson here isn't that soy is bad or that eggs are bad. It's that timing and pairing matter, especially as we grow older. Your body becomes more sensitive to how it's nourished. Think of it like tuning a piano. Every note needs to work together to create harmony. And when we get it right, the music of our days becomes smoother, easier, and more joyful. So now that we've talked about protein, digestion, and the delicate dance of nutrients, let's move on to a breakfast habit that seems innocent, but may actually be blocking your brain from getting what it needs most. You might be sipping it every morning without even realizing it. Let's talk about eggs and tea. 3. Egg plus tea. A ritual that robs you. There's something so comforting about that quiet morning moment, a warm cup of tea in one hand and a plate of eggs fresh from the pan in front of you. It feels like peace, like balance, like something that must be good for your health. And that's why what I'm about to say may surprise you, because this simple morning ritual, the one so many of us love, might be quietly stealing the very nutrients your body depends on, especially as you age. Let me tell you about George. He's a retired train engineer who starts every day the same way: 2 hard-boiled eggs, a slice of toast, and a steaming mug of black tea. He'd done this for over 30 years, but during one of our check-ins, he mentioned that lately he'd been feeling more tired. His memory wasn't as sharp. He'd even noticed some shortness of breath going up the stairs. "Is it just age, Doc?" he asked me. Sometimes the answer isn't in the years. It's in the routine. You see, tea, especially black and green tea, contains something called tannins. These natural compounds aren't harmful on their own. In fact, they can have antioxidant properties. But when consumed at the same time as high-protein foods like eggs, they can create an invisible barrier. Tannins bind to proteins in your food, making them harder to digest and absorb. That means even though George was eating nutrient-rich eggs, his body couldn't fully use the protein, choline, or even iron they offered. Now here's where it gets even more important for someone in their 60s or 70s. Eggs contain iron, and iron is vital for carrying oxygen through your blood, supporting brain function, and keeping your energy steady. But the tannins in tea block your body's ability to absorb that iron. So over time, what feels like just getting older might actually be your cells running low on one of their most essential tools. George's case wasn't unusual, and once we made a simple change, just shifting his tea to 30 minutes after breakfast, things began to improve. "I didn't think something so small would matter," he told me. "But now, I feel more clear-headed, and my afternoon naps are shorter." It's a perfect example of how a harmless habit, done at the wrong time, can slowly rob us of vitality. And more importantly, it's a reminder that change doesn't have to be hard. It just has to be thoughtful. So what should you drink with your eggs? A small glass of orange juice, rich in vitamin C, can actually help your body absorb iron more efficiently. Or go for herbal teas like chamomile or peppermint. These don't contain tannins and can even soothe your digestion. It's not about giving up what you love. It's about using what you love in a way that loves you back. And now that we've seen how certain pairings can work against your health, let's shift the lens. Because there are also food combinations that do the opposite. They lift you up, protect your bones, fuel your energy, and brighten your day from the inside out. Let's explore one of the most surprising and powerful of those combinations next: eggs and pumpkin. Yes, really. Best pairing number 1, eggs plus pumpkin. Feed your eyes. I want you to picture a warm fall morning, just a little mist on the windows, the smell of something gently roasting in the oven. Maybe it's not Thanksgiving, but it feels just as comforting. And on your plate is something simple: scrambled eggs beside a scoop of roasted pumpkin. It might seem unusual at first, but for your eyes, your brain, and your overall vitality, this pairing is like gold. You see, as we age, our eyes are often one of the first places we feel change. Reading glasses get stronger, night driving gets harder. The world just isn't quite as sharp. But what many people don't know is that some of this change isn't just age, it's nutrition. And here's where eggs and pumpkin make their quiet, powerful entrance. Eggs, particularly the yolks, are rich in 2 nutrients called lutein and zeaxanthin. These are antioxidants that act almost like natural sunglasses for your eyes. They help filter out harmful blue light, reduce the risk of macular degeneration, and keep your vision clearer for longer. But they work best when they have a partner. That partner? Vitamin A. And pumpkin is absolutely loaded with it. Just 1 serving of pumpkin, it provides more than double your daily needs of beta-carotene, the precursor to vitamin A. It's like handing your eyes a toolbox filled with everything they need to repair and protect themselves. I remember my patient, Helen, a retired piano teacher. She was in her early 70s and had started to worry about her vision. "I can't read my sheet music without squinting," she told me. We didn't rush to prescriptions. Instead, we looked at her plate. Turns out she wasn't getting enough of these key eye nutrients. I suggested she try a simple lunch twice a week, a soft-boiled egg over a warm bowl of pumpkin soup. Within a few months, she told me with a smile, "Doc, the notes on the page look a little brighter again." It's a quiet transformation, but a meaningful one. Here's a little bonus. Pumpkin also provides slow digesting carbs that help keep your blood sugar steady. That means you get energy without the crash. And when paired with the protein and healthy fats in eggs, it becomes a perfectly balanced meal. So if you're looking for a small, delicious way to protect your vision, stay energized, and feel nourished inside and out, give this duo a try. Eggs and pumpkin might not be your usual breakfast buddies, but your eyes will thank you. And now, speaking of strength and staying sharp, let's move to another pairing that's been quietly helping seniors stay strong, steady, and resilient from the inside out. I'm talking about the delicious, bone-loving team of eggs and cheese. Let's dive in. Best pairing number 2, eggs plus cheese, because stronger bones, sharper brain. Now let me tell you about a classic comfort food duo that's not just delicious, it's medicine for your bones and a booster for your brain. I'm talking about eggs and cheese. Two simple staples, often sitting quietly in the fridge, yet when paired thoughtfully, they become a kind of daily prescription for strength and clarity without the pharmacy. Let's start with the bones. After 60, our bones naturally begin to lose density. For many, that shows up as joint pain, stiffness, or a quiet fear of falling. And while we often think of calcium as the hero of bone health, it can't do the job alone. Calcium needs a helper to be properly absorbed, and that helper is vitamin D. Eggs, especially with the yolk, are one of the few natural sources of vitamin D. Cheese, on the other hand, is loaded with calcium. So when you eat them together, it's like giving your bones both the bricks and the builder. But the magic doesn't stop there. Eggs are rich in choline, a nutrient that supports memory, focus, and the health of your brain cells. As we age, choline becomes even more essential. It's one of those quiet protectors of mental sharpness. Cheese, especially aged varieties like cheddar or Gouda, contains probiotics and healthy fats that support gut health, which, believe it or not, has a direct line to brain function. A healthy gut helps regulate mood, reduce inflammation, and enhance nutrient absorption, all of which play into how we feel and think. I think of my neighbor Jim, 78 years old and as sharp as a tack. Every morning, he starts his day with a veggie omelet topped with just a sprinkle of cheese. "Gives me the fuel and the flavor," he says. He doesn't think of it as a strategy for aging well, but that's exactly what it is. The lesson here is simple. Sometimes aging gracefully doesn't require a dramatic diet change. It just needs small, smart pairings. A cheesy scrambled egg, a mini frittata with spinach. You're feeding your muscles, your mind, and your mobility all at once. And as we talk about balance and digestion, there's one more surprising combination I want to share with you. It's light, refreshing, and works wonders for your gut and energy levels. Let's take a look at eggs paired with apples and why this crisp duo might be just what your mornings need. Best pairing number 3, eggs plus apples, a gut-friendly combo. Now here's a pairing that might surprise you. Eggs and apples. It's not the first thing that comes to mind when you think of breakfast, but believe me, this light and balanced combination might be one of the most powerful things you can do for your digestion, your energy, and even your heart. Let me explain. Eggs give you high-quality protein, essential B vitamins, and choline, all crucial for muscle strength, mental clarity, and sustained energy. But for some folks, especially in their later years, eggs on their own can feel a bit heavy. They're nutrient dense, yes, but they can sit in the stomach like a stone, slowing things down, leaving you feeling sluggish, even a little uncomfortable. Now add an apple to the mix, just a simple crisp apple, and something magical happens. Apples are rich in soluble fiber, especially a type called pectin. Pectin works like a gentle broom in the digestive system. It helps regulate how your body processes fats and proteins, keeping everything moving smoothly and preventing that post-breakfast heaviness. More than that, the fiber feeds the good bacteria in your gut, your microbiome, which plays a vital role in everything from immunity to mood to inflammation. And here's something most people miss. Apples are a great source of vitamin C, which actually helps your body absorb iron more effectively. Eggs contain iron, but if you're not pairing them with a source of vitamin C, a lot of that iron goes to waste. So by simply adding apple slices next to your boiled egg, you're not only easing digestion, you're enhancing nutrient absorption and fueling your cells more efficiently. I remember a lovely woman named Helen, 84 years old, sharp as ever, with a quiet, graceful way about her. She used to struggle with bloating after breakfast. Then one day she added a sliced apple to her routine, and that tiny shift changed everything. I don't just feel better, she told me. I feel lighter, like my body is smiling from the inside out. It's a small act, this egg and apple pairing, but it's one that speaks volumes about what happens when we eat with intention. And it leads us to something equally important, not just what we pair with our food, but how we prepare it. Because the truth is, even the most perfect ingredients can lose their magic if cooked the wrong way. Let's explore how to cook your eggs so they nourish your body the way nature intended. Cooking matters. The wrong pan can steal your health. Here's something most people never think about. The pan you use to cook your eggs can quietly be stealing your health. I know, it sounds dramatic, but let me explain. We spend so much time choosing the right foods, the freshest ingredients, the healthiest pairings. But what about the surface we cook them on? Many folks still use old nonstick pans, especially those coated with Teflon. They're easy to clean, sure, but when heated too high or scratched over time, these pans can release toxic chemicals called PES, also known as forever chemicals, into your food. These compounds are linked to everything from hormonal imbalances to weakened immunity and even certain cancers. It's especially concerning for older adults whose bodies are already working harder to maintain balance. Let me share a quick story. I once had a patient, Tom, who was doing everything right, eating whole foods, walking daily, but still felt fatigued and foggy. When we looked closer, the only thing left unchecked was his old chipped nonstick skillet. He switched to a simple ceramic-coated pan, and within weeks, he noticed more energy and clearer thinking. Was it the only factor? Maybe not, but it was a quiet toxin he had control over. If you're cooking eggs, go for safer materials like ceramic, stainless steel, or well-seasoned cast iron, and always cook on low to medium heat. Not only does this protect the nutrients in your food, it keeps the hidden dangers off your plate. Sometimes the healthiest change isn't about the food, it's about what you cook it in. Because in the kitchen, even the smallest choice matters. And that brings us to the heart of it all. Why these little shifts in how we eat, cook, and combine matter so deeply, especially as we age. Let's take one final moment together to connect all the dots. Every meal is a vote for the life you want. If there's one thing I've learned after decades of caring for older adults, it's this. Every meal you eat is more than just food. It's a quiet vote for the kind of life you want to live tomorrow. Each bite, each choice, each pairing on your plate is shaping your energy, your strength, your memory, and yes, your joy. Not in some dramatic way overnight, but slowly, gently, like a river shaping stone. I've seen patients who simply swapped white toast for whole grain, or traded a cup of tea with breakfast for one later in the morning, and within weeks, they felt clearer, steadier, more in control. It wasn't magic, it was consistency, a little knowledge turned into a gentle habit. Because that's the truth. We don't need perfection. We just need direction, a quiet nudge, a reminder that even the most ordinary breakfast can be an act of self-care, of self-respect, of love. So the next time you crack an egg, pause. Think about what you'll pair it with. Think about what story that meal will tell your body. Will it say, I'm rushing, I'm tired, I'm unaware? Or will it say, I care, I'm here, I choose to live well? You're not just feeding your body, you're feeding your future. And I hope from this day forward, every meal you make feels like a gentle step toward the stronger, brighter, longer life you deserve.